All right, so last week we started on the sky and we talked about making, now all eyes are up on the board. We talked about making it dark towards the top and light as you go down. So it's how much pressure, I need eyes on the board please, you put on the pastel, but it's also a matter of maybe using the lighter colors like yellow and orange here in these examples. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring those colors over just a little bit more so I can finish this part of the sky. Well, and again, I'm using the warm colors, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my red. And over towards the corner, I'm going to keep it a little bit darker, and then maybe add a little bit of yellow here since it's primarily pretty light right here. And when you're using your paper towel, you're just going to take your finger. You're going to take your finger and you're going to blend it. So I'm going to just push this into the paper and blend it down. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. And if you remember, I said don't worry too much about the buildings because we're going to use this in the buildings as well. Now, my moon, boys and girls, look up please. My moon itself is going to be pretty light. So I'm going to use the lighter of the three colors I have. Or if you're using black, I'm going to go ahead and just go really kind of light and leave more of the paper showing. But my moon is going to be more of or sun I should say, it's going to be more yellow. Okay? Is that making sense so far? All right, now I'm kind of rushing. You guys are going to take your time. Now keep in mind, my sun is the light source. That's giving us the lightest part of the entire thing. However, as we get down towards this, I want my mountains, hills, I want them to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and do them with a darker color. And I may say, you know what, this is really close to the moon, so I'm going to put more of a yellow into it right here and have it get darker with the red as we go over. And I think over here, this is going to be primarily dark, so I'm going to go dark here, and I'm going to blend it in. This is my land. Okay, for those of you that were not here, we talked about getting rid of the horizon line and making something more natural like hills or mountains in the background. All right. So that takes care of most of my background stuff. Now we need to take care of the buildings. And I want you to take it slow today. I expect that you're going to get basically the sky, the land, and maybe the buildings done. But I really don't want you to worry too much about this foreground, this bottom area right now. So, looking at this building right here, we have a left side and a right side. And according to where my sun is, which side should be darker, the left side or the right side? Right. Ooh, we're confused. I heard a couple of lefts and a couple of rights. The sun's on the left for this building, so which side would be darker? The right, correct. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fill in more with red on this side. And I could even do all my buildings red and just do less pressure. Like I may say, you know what, this side right here is going to be darker, and then I'm going to take my blending stump or my tissue and just go really light. And look at how the edge of that building shows up. If you say, well, I like that, but can I put some yellow in it? My answer is absolutely, you may. That's one of your colors you're using. So if you want to put a little yellow on that side, you certainly can. You could put yellow over here or orange. But I think in general, we want to keep it the darkest color that we have in our palette, which is going to be that red. Okay? Now, I already went into this building, but that's okay because this is going to be light on this side, and it's going to be dark over here. So all the sides of my buildings right now are going to be dark on the right side. So I'm just using the side of my pastel to put some heavier charcoal on, and then I'm just going to kind of gently blend it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I don't have nearly as much pastel. Is that making sense? Okay, I'm going to put an example up on the screen. This one they did a pretty good job, and you can see where they went lighter here, darker here. This is an actual one of my students' examples. I like the colors of this one, but they didn't do the dark and light. So their buildings don't really show up as well as, say, this one. All right? Again, this is going to be a little bit lighter than your darkest part of the sky. I do think they probably could have been just a little bit darker on their hills, but look at how nicely they did the dark on the right, light on the left. And that is what we're working on today, is the background and the buildings. Okay?